Welcome to today's yoga challenge. Today we're going to be focusing on a sequence to assist with headaches and relieving migraines. So we're going to start by standing on our mats in mountain pose. So make sure you're standing tall and strong. Your feet are flat and evenly grounded on the mat. Your toes are aligned. Your shoulders are back and strong. Your arms are elongated at your side and your fingers are pointing downwards. Stand tall. And we're going to do a breathing exercise here. So you're going to be taking one long deep breath in through your nose. Feel as your body rises and your chest gets larger and your shoulders rise up. And then breathe out through your mouth. Feel as your shoulders lower and the breath leaves your body. Take a deep breath in through your nose, breathing in nice and slow. Then pause for a moment and slowly breathe out through your mouth. And when your lungs are empty, pause for a moment and take a nice deep breath in. And hold and breathe out and pause and let your breathing return to its normal rhythm. We're now going to transition into a forward fold. So take a nice deep breath in, bring your arms above your head and hinging forward from your hips, bend forward and bring those hands down to the mat. If you can reach the mat, you're welcome to tuck your fingers under your toes or just gently let your fingers rest on the ground below. And we're going to hold here for a few breaths. Don't lock your knees, and if you do feel that you're getting too much of a pull or too much tension in your hamstrings, rather soften your knees and even bend your knees slightly. Take a nice deep breath in, and as you breathe out, lift your hands up off the mat and bring them up and behind your back. Interlace your fingers and then gently drop your hands forward and bring your body into an even deeper forward bend. And we're going to hold you for a few more breaths, and you should be feeling a really good stretch in your neck and upper back. Take a nice deep breath in, and as you breathe out, slowly lower your hands down behind you. Release your hands down and roll your spine up and come back into a standing position. Bring your arms out directly in front of you. Make sure your feet are aligned on the hip width apart. Keeping your arms raised at shoulder height, bend your knees, make sure your legs stay parallel, and come as low as you can into a parallel leg squat. Make sure your heels stay flat on the mat. If your heels lift off, rather come up. So go as far as you can comfortably go, and let's hold here for a few breaths. Okay, take a nice deep breath in, and as you breathe out, bring your hands down to the mat behind you. Come to sit on the mat and lengthen out your legs in front of you. We're going to do a series of side twists. So take your left leg and bring it to the outside of your right knee. Take your right elbow to the outside of your left knee, left hand on the mat behind you, and then turn and look over your left shoulder, and let's hold here for a few breaths. Take a nice deep breath in, and as you breathe out, come back to face center. Now I want you to bring your right hand on the mat behind you. Drop that left knee down so that your left ankle is resting on your right leg. Keep your left hand on your left knee and turn your head and look over your right shoulder, and let's hold here for a few breaths. Let's switch sides. Take a nice deep breath in, breathe out, come to center, lengthen out your legs. Now take your right foot to the outside of your left knee. Then bring your right hand onto the mat behind you and bring your left elbow to the outside of your right knee and turn and twist to look over your right shoulder. And let's hold here for a few breaths. Yeah, take a nice deep breath in, and as you breathe out, come back to center. Now bring the left hand on the mat behind you and drop that right knee so that the right ankle is resting on top of your left leg. Keep your right hand on top of your right knee and turn and twist and look over your left shoulder, and let's hold here for a few breaths. Take a nice deep breath in, and as you breathe out, come back to center. We're now going to do a stretch, so sit comfortably with your legs crossed. Bring your hands behind you on the mat behind you, palms down, fingers pointing forward, arch your back, and gently drop your head backwards. And we're just going to sit here for a few breaths in this neck stretch. Take a nice deep breath in, and as you breathe out, slowly bring your head up and bring your hands onto your knees and drop your chin down to your chest. So I want you to take a nice deep breath in and roll your head so that your right ear comes above your right shoulder. Breathe out and roll your head over to the left. Breathe in, roll over to the right. And breathe out, roll over gently to the left. Breathe in, roll your head over to the right. Breathe out and roll over to the left. Breathe in and roll over to the right. Breathe out and gently roll over to the left. Take a nice deep breath in and roll over to the right. And then I want you to take your left hand and bring it on top of your head and just very gently push your head down and bring your right hand down to the mat alongside you. We're going to hold you for a few breaths. Take a deep breath in, and as you breathe out, take your left hand back down to your knee. Roll your ear over to the left, and now use your right hand to gently push your head down and bring your left hand down to the mat, and let's hold here for a few breaths. Take a deep breath in, and as you breathe out, bring your hands down, back to your knees. Roll your head down to center, and then slowly bring it up. Now swing your legs underneath you and come up onto all fours. We're going to do a cat-cow sequence. So make sure your knees under your hips, your hands under your shoulders. Drop your belly, lift your tailbone, lift your head up in a deep breath for cow. Breathe out, chin to chest, and arch your back for cat. Breathe in, look up for cow, and drop that belly. Breathe out, chin to chest for cat, arching that back. Breathe in for cow. And breathe out for cat. Breathe in for cow. Breathe out for cat. Breathe in for cow. And breathe out for cat. Come back to neutral tabletop. You may need your block for this next move, so have your block handy. And what you're going to do is you're going to take your knees out as wide as you can go, as far as you can go comfortably, so it can't even be wider than your mat. Bring your feet together and then come back to sit on your feet. Have your hands in the middle of your legs. And then walk your hands forward. Keep your hands parallel at shoulder width apart. And then come as far forward as you can comfortably go. And drop your chin down to the mat. If your chin does not reach the mat, you can use a yoga block and come to rest your chin on your yoga block. Make sure to keep your elbows up and off of the mat. Only your hands are on the mat. Rest your chin. And have your knees as far apart as you can comfortably go. Take a moment to find your position. And then I want you to just take a deep breath in, breathe out, and relax into the pose. And if you are suffering from any headaches, you may begin to feel quite a release while in this pose. If anything, out of all the poses we do today, if you do suffer from headaches, especially tension headaches from your neck and shoulders, this is one amazing pose that'll help you to really get some relief. Take a nice deep breath in, and as you breathe out, use your hands to walk yourself up and lengthen your spine. You can take your yoga block out of the way, and now bring your knees together and keep your feet together, and then drape your body and bring your forehead down to the mat for child's pose. If your forehead doesn't reach the mat without you lifting up off of your feet, you can rest your forehead on your yoga block. Bring your arms to your side, palms facing up, and drop your shoulders, and let's hold you out for a few breaths. Take a nice deep breath in, and as you breathe out, use your hands to push yourself up and lengthen your spine. Swing your legs underneath you and come to sit in the middle of your mat, knees bent, feet flat on your mat, arms out in front of you. Roll your spine and come to lie down on the mat. Make sure the tips of your fingers can touch the back of your feet. Lift your hips up off of the ground, roll your shoulders underneath you. You can interlace your fingers for support and lift up those hips for bridge pose, and we're going to hold you for a few breaths. Take a nice deep breath in, and as you breathe out, come up onto your toes and lift your hips up even higher for a deeper stretch in your neck, shoulders, and upper back. And let's hold here for a few breaths. Take a nice deep breath in, and as you breathe out, lower your heels back down to the mat. Take your shoulders out from underneath you, slowly lower your hips down to the mat, and then moving as slowly as you need to, hug your knees into your chest, and then when you're able to, lift your forehead up towards your knees, and we're going to hold here for a few breaths. Take a nice deep breath in, and as you breathe out, slowly lower your head down to the mat. Then release your knees and lengthen out your legs. And let's get ready for Savasana, final resting pose. Let your feet fall apart naturally. Your shoulders are away from your ears. Your palms are facing up. And you can close your eyes or lower your gaze while you rest in this position, allowing your body to absorb all the good work you have just done for it. A closing mantra for today. With every breath, I release tension and invite calm into my mind and body. Come back to the Hare now. Take a nice deep breath in. And as you breathe out, you can wriggle your fingers and toes and move your head from side to side. Bring your hands up, interlace your fingers and bring them down above your head. And give yourself a nice full body stretch from the fingers to the tips of your toes. When you're ready, you can release. Bend your knees, roll over onto your side, and bring yourself up into a seated position using your hands. Thank you so much for joining me today, and know that I appreciate you. Hands in prayer in front of your heart. Go well. Namaste.